Thank you, sir. Thank you for doing the honors.
कुछ साजिश है क्या मेरे लिए माइक बंद कर देते हो जब भी आते? Because I thought my turn is never going to come. I was almost wondering whether. But thank you very much, Sharad ji, for this opportunity. Thank you, Alok. Thank you, Mahesh ji. Mr. Singh, that was a very enlightening presentation. Good food for thought. If I had some more time, I can spend half an hour and answer every one of those suggestions. But I'll take this very seriously, some of the thoughts that you've very beautifully articulated. And thank you, Siddharth. I do hope your channel will communicate the last message that Mr. Singh spoke about to the real person who can reduce interest rates. And I think ENY needs to understand that the central government does not set interest rates. I'm sure Kashi Bhai, who's over here, might be able to educate you about that. And I do hope the PhD chamber will call the concerned people, and at that time, rather than speak glorious tales about the good achievements which most chambers do whenever any of us goes, would tell the people who have to perform, just like Mr. Singh did, very rightfully so, that they have certain duties to the nation and they should fulfill those duties in a holistic perspective. I mean, after all of us who are working here, all of us illustrious ladies and gentlemen who are present here, and I believe I saw your program, you have to sit here till 8 o'clock in the evening. Thank God I don't have an evening session. Pata nahi kaun baithega yahan pe baat mein. But the fact is that I, for one, personally believe that what Mr. Singh did is very essential. Somehow over the years, chambers have tended to speak glorious tales of the successes and speak good about ministers so that he comes back to the next program. Rather than tell them as it is, tell them what is really the agony and the pain point. So I'm really delighted that you chose to use this opportunity to highlight some of the. I only interrupted you, Kuldeep, because we have private airlines failing more frequently than we have the public airlines failing probably in India. So it's not about public or private, it's about leadership. The country has a new leadership in Shri Narendra Modi, a leadership which has a big vision for India, a leadership which means business, and a leadership which does not shy away from saying that we are a pro-business government and a pro-poor government. And there is no contradiction in the two terms. To be pro-poor, we have to be pro-business, because that's where the revenue is going to come from, that's where jobs are going to get created, that's where all of you sitting in this audience will participate in nation building. But of course, I can accept all the ENY suggestions. If you will all kindly permit me to request the Honorable Finance Minister to increase income tax by 10% on all corporate profits. And maybe add another 5% on excise duty. Because ultimately it's a holistic world. Ek haath se do, ek haath se lo. And end of the day, whether it's the stress of coal mine allocations having gone sour, whether it's the stress of high inflation, high interest rates, whether it's the stress of policy paralysis, end of the day, we'll all have to look within and see what is our responsibility. Now you look at what has happened from the time I came here, and I hope I don't sound too socialist today. I'm a born capitalist probably, but as you get into government and you start seeing it from within, very often you see the other side and a new realization comes to you. And some of what I'm talking, and I'll try to be brief because I would rather hear from you, as Siddharth rightly said. But I'll tell you the two things I want to leave behind before I let Siddharth take over the questions. One is, if you have observed, and no offense meant to you, Sharadji and Mr. Singh, the word problem was used some 4 or 5 times by Sharadji and about some 16, 17 times by Kuldeep. And personally, if you ask me, there is no problem. There are only opportunities, there are only possibilities, and there's a future ahead of us. I may have inherited a legacy, but we all, in our day, in our lives, in our families, in our businesses, we all inherit something good. Some good comes, some bad comes, good, bad, and ugly, as they call it. But I think this government is looking at every crisis, every challenge, more as an opportunity to do something, more as our duty to reach out to the last man on the street, to make sure that the growth, the progress, development, all of that we are talking of is inclusive, truly helps national growth, national integrity, helps the people at the lowest strata of society also come up in life, so that just like my father 70 years ago, my late father, had to study under a street lamp, I hope before the end of my term, I'm able to ensure that no child has to study under a street lamp, and we can provide 24/7 power. Another short observation, I won't get into the electricity sector. I can boast till the cows come home about what we have done, what we are planning to do, the vision of this government. Actually, Sharadji has reasonably laid out the roadmap before the government, the issues of focus that we are working on. But one takeaway for me from this presentation, from the address, and it's something that's pained me quite often, and I would like all of you to reflect on it, is the difference between me and we. It's not as if I thought of saying this, it just came to me as I was hearing him and I was seeing the presentation. Everything was about what's in it for me. And I did not find any reflection, any thought about what we can do to make a difference. After all, if there is a problem, just in an earlier session, this is my third engagement of the day. In an earlier program, I was sitting on the dais with Justice Pasayat, an illustrious, an honorable former judge, now part of the 2-member SIT exploring black money, also a fellow chartered accountant. And I flagged off the issue of whether we are going to only keep discussing and casting aspersions on each other, or even discussing what will happen to the problems of the past, or we can sit down and start looking at how we can ensure that in the future we don't have any black money, in the future there is no corruption, in the future all government resources, all government procurement, all government work can be more transparent, can be honest, can be more inclusive. And in that sense, I think it's time we came out of our despondency and that feeling of frustration, that feeling of everything is wrong in this world and in our country. In my opinion, there is no other part of the world which has 1 billion+ people, an aspirational 100 crore people, 125 crore people wanting a better quality of life, wanting all of the illustrious members of the PhD Chamber of Commerce, helping clean up systems, helping participate in nation building, helping with a positive enthusiasm about what can be done, what we all will do, how we will, not by government diktat, do 2% CSR, but go beyond the realm of law and see how we can participate in nation building. And I suspect if all of us work together, if all of us start making a presentation where we look within, why did the coal blocks go wrong? Was it because some people had greed beyond norms? Was it because some people chose to break the systems, break processes, break the rule of law? Why is it that we are not able to produce to our ultimate capacity, to our final ability to perform or produce in this country? Why is it that we cannot clean up the tax department? Why cannot all chartered accountants take it upon themselves that we will not bribe the system? Why don't all of you decide that if at all you have to clean up the political system, rather than look for a quid pro quo, you will participate in the democratic process, suo moto, voluntarily. It's something which I'm going beyond power and power theft and transmission, distribution. I promise you we'll sort that all out with all of your support, your blessings, your good wishes, your cooperation. We'll sort that out. On the 1st of January, I'll be releasing a report card. I've done one on my 100 days. I'll do one on my 200 days. There are a lot of things happening, a lot of things we are focused on. Just yesterday, we gave out the amendments to the Electricity Act. And all of this comes out of our learnings when we interact with you. And I saw the pain of the Delhi residents when in the last summer they had no choice of supplier but had to just suffer the consequences of a natural problem, the storm and the consequent problems in transmission. But that really reflected the deep distress of several years where we have not created enough transmission into the city. We have not planned for 10 or 20 years ahead. Our planning is 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. The mindset has to change, the speed of execution, the vision, the scale at which we are thinking. And in that sense, I think chambers such as yours have a great opportunity to participate in nation building, to participate in setting things right. I was just telling Sharadji that all of these ideas are great, but let's address how we are going to finance them. What is going to be the process to do that? If interest rates need to be subvented or given some support, the money has to come from somewhere. And towards that end, we are making effort. We are trying to bring out an absolutely honest and transparent methodology to auction out all the coal blocks. We are trying to make sure that power tariffs do not go up. आपके दिल्ली में तो 2-4% भी टैरिफ बढ़ता है तो पूरा हंगामा बढ़ जाता है. हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं टैरिफ्स कम हो जाए. और मैं देखता हूँ अखबारों में या इधर उधर कुछ बात होती है कि नहीं, there should be free float of everything. Let everything be market determined. आज देश की परिस्थिति देखिए, आज भी 5 करोड़ परिवार बिजली से वंचित है. Isn't it a shame for a country 67 years into independence that 25 crore people in this country don't have electricity in their homes? That should be our agony, that should be our pain point. We cannot say that everything has to be market determined. You and I may not have a problem or a stress at the end of the month, but a person who's drawing 6,000 rupees salary or 5,000 rupees salary has also got some aspirations, good education, good health for his children. He also wants electricity. He wants to watch Arnab Goswami in the evening or whoever. So we are trying to balance the interests of all sections of society, come up with a roadmap where in an honest and transparent manner, without too much stress on the common man, we are able to reach our goal to make India completely free of diesel generators and inverters. Delhi is a project which is very close to my heart. I come from Mumbai. I enjoy uninterrupted quality power for years, almost since my childhood. I wish to see Delhi have that same quality of power that Mumbai has in the next 2 years. We have been working day and night to make sure that the short-run problems are resolved, the low-hanging fruits are captured quickly so that this summer Delhi gets good quality, adequate power, and you don't have to suffer the way you suffered in the earlier months of this year. And in the next 2.5 years, I see Delhi becoming also an island, protected from the vagaries of power, protected from the inconsistencies of transmission, distribution, problems of power theft, which were highlighted by Mr. Singh, but go into a sphere where each home gets quality power, affordable power, more than adequate power, and we can truly make energy the source of faster economic growth, faster economic development, and meet the aspirations of all of you, your children, your families. I would like to compliment the jury, a very illustrious jury Mr. Sudarshan Agarwal, Sunil Munjal. I read, yes, Chief Justice, Honorable former Chief Justice Dr. Anand was there. Qureshi Saab was there. I think it's a very, very illustrious jury. I saw the list of awardees. My compliments to each one of the awardees. I was particularly very happy at the award given to the Safai Karmachari Finance Corporation. It's a great recognition of their work. I do hope each one of you will take this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan that the Honorable Prime Minister has launched with a greater degree of responsibility and sincerity. Believe me, Swachh Jivan, Swachh Dimag, Swachh Soch, Swachh Achar, Swachh Vichar, यही इस देश को आगे लेके जाएगा। और मैं समझता हूँ कई लोग इन चीज़ों को गंभीरता से नहीं ले पा रहे हैं, कई लोग समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं, पर स्वच्छता हमारे जीवन में, हमारे देश के जीवन में एक इतना बढ़िया मौका है हम सबको देश के माइंडसेट को परिवर्तन करने का, हम सबको अपने आप में स्वाभिमान लाने का। जो स्वाभिमान जब हम विदेश जाते हैं, सिंगापुर, अमेरिका, maybe America is not the best example, but certainly Singapore, Dubai, Europe, उस प्रकार का एक देश जिसमें हम सबको एक गर्व महसूस हो, उस प्रकार के देश बनाने में आप सबका सहयोग मिलेगा, आप सबका आशीर्वाद मिलेगा। इन्हीं दो शब्दों के साथ थोड़ा समय ज़्यादा लग गया, but I felt I would like to convey to you a more participatory process where we all work together to make India a greater place to live in. Thank you very much.